Hey everybody, welcome back to Taboo Shit, where we talk about good shit, dumb shit, real shit, and your shit. Our sponsor, Creative Uniques, is a business brought to you by cuniques.com, vintage treasures and handmade designed art. This is an online store working towards being a physical retail store for a nonprofit to enhance lives of those individuals who have work necessities that most jobs can't accommodate. Built to prove all individuals have value. Created to be the good they want to see in the world and to inspire the uninspired to inspire others. Let's jump right into some real shit. So I was watching Joshua Bach, which is spelled JoschaBoch, interview with Alex Friedman, and he got me thinking. So let me ask you a question. Do you think suffering is fundamental to happiness? Before I watched this interview, I could definitely say that how do you know what suffering is and what sadness is if you don't know what good and joy is? However, he made the comment that if that humans suffer because they care about things that they have no control over. So if you change the things that you care about to things that you do have control over, the human wouldn't suffer. Let's let's think about that one. Like really just process that for a minute. So then you ask yourself, how do you change the things you care about to things that you can control? I believe this can, and so does Joshua also believes that this can be mastered through meditation. To get yourself exited out of this physical realm into the existence of one mind and separating yourself from this pressured society, habits and functions that we live in every day, and bring us back to the things that we know we can do something about. We all know we'll die one day, right? So why not focus on today? But instead, we have anxieties for the future. When we think about the future, we have depression when we think about the past. We rarely remember to be at peace and being in the present. By exiting through meditation, one is able to realize or maybe recognize that's all they are, is a being. We don't need to put unmeetable expectations on our lives or reach and expect others to have the same expectations of ourselves, let alone are able to feel or know how we're feeling at any moment in time, because we all go through things in life, and sometimes we're just at different paths and parts of our journey. So I'm going to jump into Elijah McClain. I'm going to say that what happened was absolutely not okay and unacceptable. I pray that we stop, take a step back, and really see the big picture. Are we destroying our monuments and our history because we don't want it to make us feel a certain way, or are we destroying our monuments and our history because we no longer need the representation of the accountability we need to take for the actions that we pursued as our ancestors did? I don't believe the statues are a representation of wonderful things of building this United States of America. I believe it's accountability and what it took and what we need to remember, the lives that were lost during this entire change and situation and becoming where we are, who we are, and how we live. To say any of this is even related to something not one individual has control over, which is their pigmentation, is unbelievable, let alone outrageous. We do not defund the police. We reform. We learn from our mistakes. All right, let's jump into your shit. So, as I mentioned prior, I was going to start reading some Reddit situations that I comment on. I'm in a lot of Reddit groups, and I comment on a lot of things that I feel that is calling on my heart to comment on, or I may feel I have some insight on. But I'm only one perspective, of course, so. But I'm just going to start reading the situations that they type out and as the subjects and summary, and I'm going to read my response. I responded to a Reddit comment that said, or post that said, always push our loved ones away, ? I feel like our way of loving is taken for granted always. There's always a deeper meaning behind what we do. It's never appreciated. This is on a Reddit forum of ENFJs. That means we're extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging personality types. And so these are the perspectives of how, a lot of individuals think we are controlling and manipulative, and we really aren't, because our underlying goal is to only support, love, and grow any individual in our lives, if they ask or don't. And unfortunately, sometimes that annoys people. Of course. But it just made me think about some questions, and I responded and I said, I agree. I wish people knew we only critique to perfect and grow the human. We want the same for ourselves. I do not understand how people are okay with just being okay. I wish people knew we aren't being dismissive when we overtalk. We are just that excited to hear what you have to say. I wish people wouldn't dismiss my optimism and inspiration as dreams and wishes. I wish I could receive only acceptance and unconditional love out of this world. I wish when I jumped off a cliff to save one human, I had another to catch me when they leave. A little piece of me is lost when they leave, and I need supported. Yet I'm left hanging on and pulling myself up. I believe most humans do this. So many things. The only thing life has given me back is understanding that I need to expect more from myself than others, and no matter what, it's okay to not be okay as much as it is to make mistakes, even if they are really, really horrible, because sometimes we don't have control of our upbringing. That sparks the perspectives of our youth. However, humans are taught to know what is right and wrong, even if they don't feel that understanding. Humans are taught to know how to treat others, even if they may not feel the same ways. I also believe we can learn to not repeat behaviors as much as we can learn what is acceptable and what isn't. I believe the underlying issue is the human being accepted in the first place. I would love to know what people's perspectives are on that, and love to learn and grow from y'all's understanding. Now, I asked my taboo shit followers to ponder this. A question I've asked myself throughout my life: what am I allowed to feel? The Constitution says anything, but society and the mental health realm, they tell us to feel nothing. I've asked myself, what are the rules of my life? The Constitution says I have civil rights, but society and mental health, there are more than just rules. There are labels, categories, levels, syndromes, and more. How do we start a world where we just want to be free thinkers and free in religion and to where we are right now? These are just some things that have been going through my mind, and I have just been needing to talk about. So I appreciate you listening to the podcast and my taboo shit as I continue to live through this unprecedented time in our society. I ask all to inspire the uninspired, to inspire others to be the good they want to see in the world, and to keep getting up. Because one person can save a life, and you may be that one person for someone else. And someone else is ready to be there for you. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we get the male perspective, 18-year-old INFP, introverted, intuitive, feeling, perceiving personality, 18 years old, the younger generation. We're all millennials, however, we have a younger generation of millennials and the elder generation of millennials. Well, we will get the younger generation of millennials in the male perspective on the next episode. He's a high school graduate who started out in public school and ended in online school, graduating on his own. And he has a very interesting perspective on society, and I am very excited to hear his perspective on what we talked about today. And I'm so excited to hear any kind of perspectives that my audience has as well. So everybody, this is BK, and I hope y'all have a great evening, and I'm out. Take care. Stay safe.